Did the police ask you any questions? What are some of the questions that the police or the DA asked?
Well, pretty straightforward questions, man. Depending on the situation, police are going to deal with you differently. You guys, we all got to remember they're just human. At the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, they take those badges off. They when they reviewed, they looked at the video footage. They were really cool with me. They didn't. A lot of the questions they asked me, they told me like, man, these are going to be straightforward questions. Like, hey, were you in fear for your life? At what opportunity? At what point did you actually, point your gun and fire at him? Things like that. Were you actually drinking? Things like that. And at that particular moment, I had my attorney, Dave McDermott. I had him there, so there was only certain questions that he would probably even allow me to ask anyway. So
Yeah.
it's different when you have someone representing you. It's not necessarily.
That's something that's I wonder for all the good people out there who have been in self defense situations who are sitting in jail right now for like murder or something crazy, who if they only could afford an attorney, would they be all right? You know,
Oh Jesus, man, it'll make
like
a
the amount of
world of.
stupid questions or the amount of railroading or even things that shouldn't be admissible being just put in there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It'll make a world of difference, man. I tell people like, regardless, like, a police officer's job or DA, all of just law enforcement, their job is to look for infractions, and that's just their job. Regardless if they like you or dislike you, it doesn't really make a difference. The job is to look for infractions and possibly get you in jail. Excuse me, if you did something wrong. So, I do not recommend actually talking to law enforcement. Get an attorney there if you don't have USCCA, and again, any insurance you have, I don't really care. But have an attorney represent you.
yeah.
Have an you.
Now, just so nobody comes back and says anything, we are not lawyers. This is not legal advice. He's just telling a story for entertainment purposes, more or less. But sharing his story. Hopefully, somebody can gain something positive from it. That said, I have in the past heard that like, hey, you want to comply a little bit. Say like, hey, I was in fear for my life. I had to defend myself. Somebody shot. I will happily speak to you. I just need to consult my attorney first,
Hmm.
and that's have you dealt with anything similar? Have you heard that? Is that how it played out for you, or what exactly happened when you were talking about that?
Will County Sheriff's Department.
Yes. Did they
Yeah.
like how? What was that first conversation like when they showed up? Like, what did you tell them?
Initially, when they showed up, I did the same thing I'm trained to do, even with after taking your concealed carry course. If you take a concealed carry course with a good instructor, they'll advise you. You should just only certain things you really should say. I said initially when they arrived on the scene, I cleared my gun, and I told them like, "Hey, I am, the man who was involved in the shooting. My name is Mychael Waller. I keep my hands where they can see them, and I just tell them like, hey, I was in fear for my life. I am the man that was involved in the shooting, and I just comply with law enforcement and." Allow them to take me into custody until my attorney can represent me. I was even when you're on phone with 911 because we did call 911 when the bad guys were on the ground, say very little information to them because that's a recorded line as well. So try not to talk so much. Just give them the details on the location so they can actually get there and assist whoever's in need. And then just wait for your attorney. Give them very little information. Just provide them with your name. Let them know what happened as far as you're involved in the shooting. Use specific words too. Don't say I shot this dude. Da, da, da. Just say I was in fear for my life. I am the person who was involved in the shooting. Keep your hands where they can see them, and allow law enforcement to do their job until because you can't do anything at that moment. There's nothing you can really
Right.
do. Your fight's going to be in the courtroom or whatever, wherever else. It's
Mm-hmm.
not going to be. So allow law enforcement to do their job. Let them, they're going to take you into custody. Everybody's going to get, going to go to jail. If that's for 5 hours, 2 hours, just, or let's not even jail. Let's say everybody's going to be detained
Yeah.
until the investigation is over or until they come to a conclusion whether they want to charge you or not. Again, I'm not an attorney. I'm just telling you, that's my opinion. That's what I would have done, and I've done those in both situations. And by the grace of God, I'm still here. So
It worked out for you.